in-depth, exclusive written content on our website at ringsidereport.net. Before I hand it off to Dave and the team, I want to remind you that we are a listener-supported creator team. On our website, we would appreciate it if you supported our sponsors or purchased our exclusive merch. Branded clothing, mugs, and even jiu-jitsu gear, which are available only in our store. You can become a recurring supporter of our content at membership.ringsidereport.net. This, along with all our podcasts, is available on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, Amazon, iHeart, and TuneIn, wherever you get your podcasts. It would help us immensely if you left a positive review on Spotify, Apple, or Amazon. Thank you for your support and enjoy the show.
Please welcome David Simon. Good to see you again, David. Thanks for coming back.
Hey, it's Wrestling Uncensored. Tonight on the show, new matches for WWE Saturday night's main event. AEW Double or Nothing is a week away, and we will pay tribute to the legend of Sabu. We are here. Johnny is here. We are live on a Friday night. Welcome to Wrestling Uncensored. Johnny North. What's up, man? How's it all going?
Well, not bad. Enjoying this match of it's JC against LA Knight. And if you don't know, JC is Jeff Cobb. He has a new name, I guess, now. Just JC.
Yes. He debuted as the new sidekick for Solo Sikoa at Backlash, and now he is on his first episode of SmackDown.
I was just going to complain that he's wearing a T-shirt. I'm like, why are you wearing a T-shirt? But he just took the T-shirt off, and hey, it looks jacked. Like, yeah, you don't need to wear a shirt. You're big. You look good.
Yeah, Jeff Cobb, he's been around. He's been in New Japan Pro Wrestling, obviously, for a long time. He was in AEW for a few matches here and there. He's been all over the world as a top-level pro wrestler. I'm kind of surprised it's taken this long for the WWE to pick him up. And just the debut is kind of underwhelming here on SmackDown. This is his first match in the WWE. It's an impromptu match after LA Knight jumped him and Jacob Fatu, because Jacob and JC, formerly Jeff Cobb, helped Solo Sikoa attacking Big Jim and Rey Fenix, helping Solo Sikoa beat Big Jim and Rey Fenix in a triple threat match in a Money in the Bank qualifier. So Solo Sikoa will be in the Money in the Bank match that the WWE is already starting to build for. So LA Knight jumps them, and then it's like, oh, Nick Aldis makes a match. Here's Jeff Cobb in your first WWE match, and he's wearing jeans and a T-shirt, looking just like a henchman, just like a goon, just a guy, just a backup for Solo, just like a B-level Jacob Fatu. Doesn't come out looking super impressive, doesn't get an entrance, doesn't even get ring gear. He's in jeans and an undershirt right now. This guy usually wears a singlet.
Like wrists are taped at least.
Yeah, but this is not a great debut for JC. Also, the name is awful. Why can't he be Jeff Cobb? Why do they, like, they're only referring to him as JC? What is that?
That's the old, we got to make our own characters, so they have to give them their own names. And I guess that's what they want to do instead of Jeff Cobb. I guess that was too plain for him, so I guess JC sounded better to them.
Oh, he has a last name. Did you see that on the screen?
I missed that.
It's JC Mateo, Mateo.
Oh, wow. I didn't catch that.
They just showed that, a graphic on the screen. they have not said I don't know if it's Mateo or Mateo or how they're pronouncing it, because the whole time they've been referring to him as only JC. But then we just saw a graphic on the screen. I guess they decided, let's give him a last name, and it is JC Mateo. That is Jeff Cobb's new name. He has a new name.
I imagine it might just be JC in the end of all this, but we'll wait and see. We've seen them shorten names, right? And it feels like they've already shortened the name before they've really even announced it. So, but wait and see. I find the match so far, like, for his first WWE match, I think it's fine. It's just he hasn't really stood out in this match. It's just very much a basic kind of match. I feel he's working the WWE style very well, though. And I think getting used to wrestling WWE style, he's already there. I don't think there's going to be a problem whatsoever. Not like what Penta and Phoenix has had to deal with. I think he can have these matches. The thing is, like you said, first match, he hasn't shown us anything that's really like, wow, you got to check this out.
Yeah. And the presentation, like, they didn't do him any favors.
I didn't mind the idea of, match out of nowhere. Oh, that's exciting. I wasn't expecting this. That's kind of cool.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, it makes sense. Oh, he's not ready to wrestle kind of thing. But he's kind of sort of ready to wrestle because he did tape his wrists and all that. So it's kind of weird. But oh, well.
And he does appear to be wearing some kind of ring boots, too.
Yeah,
those aren't normal shoes.
He's in half gear. That's what he's not full gear, right?
Right. We will talk about AEW a little bit later when we talk about Double or Nothing. And, of course, MJF. Some big news for him this week, right? So we'll talk about that.
Good stuff.
Finally
Good
happened.
stuff.
Yeah. SmackDown has been kind of a lackluster show. We have a couple news items out of SmackDown, though, that we can cover. As far as what we've seen so far in the first 2 hours of this program, Alexa Bliss has qualified for Money in the Bank. She is resurfaced. She wants to be friends with Charlotte Flair, too. I'm not sure what that's about. But she was there. She won a triple threat match against Michin and Chelsea Green. So Bliss will be in Money in the Bank. She's the first to qualify for the women's Money in the Bank. That's June 7th in LA. Money in the Bank. And Solo, like I mentioned, the first man to qualify for the men's Money in the Bank. Bliss backstage with Charlotte saying, like, hey, you helped me in NXT and we should be friends. And Charlotte's like, I don't remember that. I don't know. I don't really want to be friends with you. And then Nick Aldis showed up, and he's like, here's Julia. She's the newest member of the SmackDown roster. I was like, oh, she's been on Raw with Roxanne Perez, and now she's on SmackDown, I guess. I guess they saw she had blue hair, and they figured SmackDown. I don't know. That was an interesting twist. Julia now on SmackDown. Bliss on Money in the Bank. And Charlotte, she doesn't want any new friends.
Well, I actually enjoyed the Alexa Bliss Charlotte promo part. I actually liked the idea that Alexa pretty much put herself over as a babyface, and you actually felt for her a little bit. Like, she felt sympathy, and like Charlotte was kind of like a role model to her early on. And Charlotte, being the jerk that she is, being the heel that she is, kind of blew her off. So I kind of like that in terms of the development of that. Like, I understand their motivations now. Before, it's like, what's going on? There was too much mystery. Now it's like, okay, now I understand your intentions. I get it. Alexa is a babyface. Charlotte, clearly a heel beyond belief. That's good. And this was a huge problem. I was going to mention this on Raw, but thankfully she showed up on SmackDown. Like, Julia, like, why do I care about this person? Like, we don't know much about her. She came from NXT. She's a good wrestler, but what else there is to her? Like, I don't know anything else about her.
She's Japanese.
Okay, yeah, like she cut a promo half in Japanese, half in English on Raw. Yep, that happened. But why should I care? Like, they haven't really gave me reasons to care about it or her whatsoever. So hopefully on SmackDown they can kind of fix that. Give her something.
I think she's going to be a babyface on SmackDown, too.
And I don't know. Judging by that, I mean, she kind of had that like look of like I'm a jerk kind of face. So I don't know. I don't know about that.
We'll see. Yeah. I don't mind her on SmackDown, you know? Shouldn't need to be on Raw. I guess Roxanne Perez will stay on Raw. Like what? They both kind of got called up at the same time, and then they had the main event tag match on Raw this week against Rhea and Io. That Rhea and Io won. So maybe that was the kind of blow off to that whole thing, and now Julia is moving on, and Roxanne will stay on Raw doing her own thing.
I guess the funny part is, aren't we supposed to have a draft in a couple of weeks too? Like, so why are we signing people and then they'll just get moved? I feel like we've done this before in the past anyways, but that's what they do.
Are we having a draft? Have they said anything about that? I haven't heard.
I mean, things just kind of pop up out of nowhere, right? Like, we have Clash of Champions now out of nowhere, right? So, like, things just kind of happen, sperm of the moment. And, like, we have main event, sperm of the moment, right?
Oh, boy. Yeah, Clash of Champions, there were rumors about that, right?
Now we're confirmed, right?
But now
it's 100%.
It's official. They made it official. June 28th, I think?
Yep.
Something
I believe you're busy that day, as you said, I think, last night.
Yeah. Well, you're paying attention.
Yeah. Well, last night everyone should listen to that episode. That was a very controversial episode of Ringside Report last night.
Was it?
Well, a very heated debate. I think you and AJ had last night. I'd give it a listen to. I thought it was pretty good.
You liked it? Good show last night?
Highly enjoyable. It was a good debate back and forth.
Okay. Who won?
It's tough to say. Like, the thing is, AJ, like, he stepped over the bounds a bit there, saying like the UFC, like, I've never heard that loud before. Like, I'm sorry, like I've been to the Bell Center, like, for big Canadians moments, like the UFC. I'm sorry, wasn't even close. Like, for 315, I wasn't there for GSP, so yeah, maybe it was louder for that. I'm sure people were saying like it felt like the building was shaking for that. But 315, from what I saw, like not even close to this season for the Canadians. So sorry, like, well, AJ lost for that.
I don't know about these big Canadians games, John. As LA Knight just loses to JC Mateo with some distraction from Solo and Jacob Fatu outside the ring. So at least JC Mateo did get a big win over LA Knight in his first match in WWE. But I will tell you, Johnny, that I've been in the Bell Center for some big events, and I was at the Bell Center for all the GSP fights, and it was pretty loud in there, but I feel like it was louder for a longer amount of time with Hogan the night after Mania.
Well, also, we were there when Sami Zayn, like, I think the night before Elimination Chamber, quite loud for that as well.
Yeah, but Hogan after Mania was like it lasted so long. People were going nuts for Hogan.
That was a moment. That's true. Right after WrestleMania 18, that was huge, no doubt.
It was right after. It was the night after the Rock match.
And you could also say his entrance at No Way Out as well.
Yeah,
they had him against the Rock. Yeah, so I think there's many cases, and I'm surprised too. Like, you're telling me WWE didn't like get more than 19,000? I'm surprised they didn't, because I feel like they could have. But maybe, I guess, because they shortened it for the ring and all that. But yeah, in terms of how loud it is, that's where AJ lost that battle, I think.
What do you mean WWE didn't get more than 19,000?
Have they never gotten more than 19,000 before?
One of their events? Why? Well, UFC got 19,000, but that doesn't mean they didn't set an attendance record or anything.
Didn't they say it was like the best for non-hockey or something?
Most money.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean, look, if you charge $1 billion for one ticket and you only have one person in the building, sure, you're going to make the most money ever in the building, but, like, did you sell out the place? No. They charged a lot for their tickets. They had like $10,000 tickets. I would hope
I'm
they
sure...
made some money charging that for tickets. Some people bought them. Yeah.
I imagine WWE will give them a run in August, right? As you've seen with their ticket prices.
It's nowhere near. Like the
ticket.
No, we already compared, John. Like the ticket that I bought for WWE was like it was like a $360 ticket or something, right?
Right.
And then the same ticket in the same section for UFC was like $1,200.
But it did drop though, didn't it? Like,
yeah, but not. It still was not. WWE
really?
tickets
Okay.
are way cheaper. Way cheap. You could get ringside tickets for WWE for like maybe $1,000 or $2,000. Ringside for UFC is like $10,000. Totally different. UFC is way more expensive.
I thought it was a significant drop, but I guess it wasn't that significant, I guess.
No.
Oh, well.
No. Nah. Okay. Where were we?
I believe we were talking about SmackDown. What's happened on SmackDown so far? We got distracted.
We've covered it all on SmackDown. Nothing. Aleister Black wrestled Carmelo Hayes for a ridiculous amount of time. It was boring, and then it ended in a disqualification when Miz attacked, and then Miz and Carmelo attacked Aleister Black, and I was like, why did I watch any of that?
I didn't like the Miz throwing Hayes back in the ring right in front of the referee. I didn't like that.
I didn't like any of that. I did like R-Truth and his backstage interview about John Cena, talking about hustle and loyalty and respect and how he believes in Cena. And, you know, he was defending Cena and says, you know, the guy that put me through the table, that wasn't Cena. And he's not himself. And I don't want to fight him, but I will beat some sense into him if I have to. And I will have that opportunity at Saturday night's main event because one of Cena's final matches will be against R-Truth at Saturday night's main event next week on, I think, NBC, right? They're still on NBC. Is NBC still in business?
I believe it's going to be on NBC, and I think it's also available on YouTube as well.
Oh.
At least, maybe for us at least. I know It was last time.
So, yeah, that's next week. Cena versus R-Truth. Should be a quick match. Whoa.
That's awesome. That's cool logo right there. That's for the event I'm going to be at next Saturday.
There you go.
Yeah, it's also called Genesis. And there's that logo that isn't my logo, but it's pretty cool looking. So, It's nice.
There you go. Cena Truth. It's kind of fun. Truth promo was all right.
It was what it was. It was kind of weird how he's defending Cena and then suddenly, I'm going to face him. Like, okay, that's odd. But, I mean, it's R-Truth. I mean, I expect it to be odd. It's non-title. I would love for R-Truth to actually beat Cena. And then maybe get a title shot and then lose. But I think he should win. I think that'd be awesome to see.
It is non-title, right? So you want this to continue? Cena has what, like 20 dates left? Like how many dates is it left? It's got to be like 24, 23 at this point.
Yeah, I really don't want to see him wrestle a bunch of the new guys because it's not going to be that good. And I'm not expecting a lot from him and R-Truth, but I think R-Truth can actually get something out of Cena more than other people could.
It's not bad. That was added to Saturday night's main event officially tonight. We also saw Damian Priest and Drew McIntyre cut promos on each other, setting up a steel cage match, which could be fun. That'll be at Saturday night's main event.
We're finding other reasons now why Tiffany and Nia got bumped to tonight. We thought that would be on Saturday night's main event, but it feels like they're really packing Saturday night's main event with a lot of matches. So, yeah, I understand now why We're getting that tonight as the main event.
It is a 4-match card so far. I guess it's a 2-hour show.
Yeah, but they're usually long, the matches, no? No, I feel like they're actually kind of like 10 to 15 minutes, but we also have a lot of downtime in between all that stuff that happens. And I think every match gets a nice video package, so expect a lot of nothingness to happen in between matches.
I mean, it's a pretty big show, though. I mean, you got Damian Priest, Drew McIntyre, Steel Cage, John Cena versus R-Truth 1-on-1, CM Punk and Sami Zayn teaming up to face Seth Rollins and Braun Breaker, and Jey Uso defending the world title against Logan Paul.
It's big matches.
Yeah.
To me, it's bigger than Backlash.
Yes. I mean, Punk wasn't on Backlash.
Punk wasn't there. You had Cena there, and now you're also getting a World Heavyweight title match and a Steel Cage match. Yeah, Backlash, I don't know about you, Backlash is very skippable compared to this. This is something's going to happen here, and it's going to mean something going forward.
Backlash was not great.
No, it wasn't, sadly. I expected better, and they did not deliver, sadly.
No.
Yeah. Now we're getting Nakamura again.
Nakamura promo. What's he doing? Oh, he's talking about Money in the Bank. He's got a Money in the Bank qualifier. Who wins Money in the Bank this year, John? How about that?
Well, who's in it first? Because if Charlotte's in it, well, I like Charlotte in the women's side. Men's, again, I'd like to see who's in it. If Punk's in it, I love Punk in that. But again, you got to give me names first before I start giving selections here.
It's hard to tell. So you'd like to see Punk win? If you had to pick a winner? Punk?
Yeah, I pick Punk, yeah, for sure. I think he'd be the best one.
Nakamura, Aleister Black, LA Knight, triple threat qualifying match next week on SmackDown.
I don't see any of those guys winning. I mean, one of them obviously is going to win, but I don't see one of them winning Money in the Bank.
Ooh, Charlotte Flair, Julia, and Zelina Vega triple threat next week qualifying match Money in the Bank. Ooh, Julia and Charlotte and Zelina.
I think Charlotte with the figure 8 on Zelina to advance. I think that's what's going to happen.
And then she wins Money in the Bank. Charlotte wins again.
Has she ever won Money in the Bank?
I don't think so.
Makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah. You see Becky Lynch on Raw this week cut a promo. She was like, you guys turned on me because you're tired of seeing me win because I keep winning and you can't relate to that because you don't win and everything. And I was like, this is kind of what Charlotte Flair is doing.
You do a better Becky impression than that. That was kind of a weak Becky
I'm not doing
impression.
the whole thing. I'm not doing the accent.
I thought Becky's promo was terrible, to be honest.
I thought it was all right. I liked it. But it was just kind of like...
didn't like it. I thought the fans didn't like it. They were pretty much wanting her the whole time. Just saying, this is not good. And yeah, she's kind of alluding to the fact that she's kind of like the Hogan of the division. But I feel like Charlotte's more the Hogan of the division, so it's not completely accurate about that. She's trying too hard, I think, the way that came across. I think that was the problem. I feel she's trying way too hard to be the bad villain in this one, where it's people didn't really like it, I think, in the end. I didn't like it.
I kind of did. I thought it was good.
Well, you like Hogan, so I get it.
Of course. I thought Becky was, I thought it was a good promo. I like that stuff where she was talking about how, she made Lyra relevant, and it's true.
That's exactly it, Ryan. She's trying too hard.
Ryan Cat saying Becky was trying to force the fans to boo her. Maybe. I mean, she is a heel. That is kind of what the idea of the promo would be.
was too much, though.
All right. Fine. I liked it, John, okay? I like Becky.
It's okay to like her. I mean, she's a good talent. I feel like
Yeah.
she's very small, though, now. Like,
Yeah.
she's not very intimidating. So to be a heel, like, it would help if you had some sort of intimidation factor. You're so small, it's hard to really be scared of you.
Angelo Contagonis in the chat says, Johnny, I saw you on the HTTB podcast and I enjoyed your feedback.
That was a fun podcast. That was awesome. Yeah, it was with Andy, yeah, Adam. That was great. We do that every year, pretty much. Like, I did it 2 years after their Elimination Chamber post show, and this year for Backlash. A lot of fun. We talked about Backlash. We talked a little bit about AEW. It was good stuff.
And Patrick Deneau says, ticket pricing has gone crazy. I agree, Patrick. It is unbelievable.
For what?
Everything.
Oh, I suppose. Like, I feel like if you're going to, like, Laval Rocket, I don't mean to put them over here, but, like, I paid, like, $45 for a ticket. And it's playoff tickets, so I don't mind that, to be honest.
It's minor league hockey.
Well, pricing's not bad for that.
$45 to see minor league hockey seems excessive.
I don't think so. Like, playoff, like minor league, that's fine.
You'd have to pay me to go to that. Not doing that.
Would you
Outrageous.
go to minor league baseball?
Maybe.
I mean, I think you would, actually.
I might.
I think you Olympic Stadium. I think you'd do it.
Olympic Stadium, minor league baseball. Why would that ever happen?
I'm just saying,
Ridiculous.
like, if they threw that option at you, like, would you want to go see that kind of thing?
What are we talking about? AAA?
Sure, yeah.
AAA.
Yeah.
I'd support a AAA team. That's
There you
like
go.
very close to the majors.
Exactly.
I'd take that.
Well, it's about where I'm at here. Like,
I would take a AAA team at this point. I'd love a major league team back. That'd be nice. But a AAA team is as close. But it's not going to happen. So what are we talking about? We're not even going to get that. I think that's even out of the realm of possibility. God,
Always
I
dream.
love baseball. It sucks that people don't love baseball as much as I do. People don't seem to like it that much. I really like it. I was watching baseball today. The Yankees won. It was great. They beat the Mets. Juan Soto did nothing. It was beautiful. Go Yankees.
you know, what hurts the Yankees is seeing all the disrespectful fans towards Soto. Like, that
Ball
always
game over.
really
Yankees win. The Yankees win.
Whatever, John. You're just a sad hater because you're a Red Sox fan and they suck.
still second in the division, so
They're trash. Are they? I think the Blue Jays are second.
I don't think so.
Red Sox are 22-24. They have a under 500 record. The Jays are 21-23. Wow, you're right, John. Well, you're both in second place, 5 games back of the Yankees. So, what a lead the Yankees have in the East. They're just going to run away with it because the other teams in the East are all under 500. All you have to do to win the East is have a winning record. That's sad. It's the worst division in the It's the worst division in baseball. Like, the Yankees are the only good team in that division, John. Right now, it is the worst division in baseball.
For now, again,
It's pathetic.
we're in May. I mean, things can turn around very fast. So, I expect the Red Sox to turn around.
It is the only division in baseball right now where the second place team has a losing record. And I think it's only one of 2 divisions in all of baseball where the third place team also has a losing record. The NL Central Reds are in third with a 22-24 record. But like every other third place team has a winning record in baseball. But the AL East, they suck. Garbage division right now. Terrible. But the Yankees are doing great, and they're benefiting from everybody else in the East being trash. It's nice to see.
Ryan made a good point there. 94 was a great year.
Yes.
Fantastic. Yeah.
A great man once said, Johnny North, sorry about your damn luck. Who was that? James Storm? Was that Cowboy James Storm?
Yes,
Cowboy
it was.
Shit. Cowboy shit, brother.
We are
Oh,
main event
James
time
Storm.
now,
Oh, we got Nia Jax in the ring. She's not like most girls. She's going to wrestle Tiffany Stratton. It's Tiffy time. It's time, John. It's time. It's time. It's Tiffy time.
It'd be funny if she ever did that. Is this one of our last SmackDown 3-hour shows? Because isn't it going back to 2 hours like next month? Which would be great.
You tell me.
I don't mind doing this whole
It's
like
Vader. Time.
like we're watching it while we're talking here, but like I enjoyed SmackDown. I thought it was better. It flowed better when it was 2 hours. Raw flows better because it's 2 hours. I think that's what we need to have. Just 2 hour shows. 3 hours is a little excessive.
Yeah. I agree. I think 3 hours is way too much for SmackDown, and they have a lot of matches that just kind of drag. Like Fraxium and DIY that took forever, you know? Fraxium beating DIY. They keep winning, John.
And they have the tag title shot next week.
Mm-hmm.
I don't
Against
think
the
they'll
Prophets
win,
of
but-
Street.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to win, but I think the Profits might cheat to win, but I think the Profits will retain.
You know what I got for my son? It's his birthday next month. You know what he
you act
wanted?
fast.
You know what he wanted?
Switch 2?
I mean, he's getting that. We're just going to get that. That's just happening.
Oh, okay.
Because, I mean, I'm getting that. That's mine, but he gets to use it. Probably more than me, so. What? I got him an Axiom. He's got I have an Axiom.
I didn't realize there was an Axiom. Wow.
Yeah. I saw the Axiom on Amazon. I was like looking at stuff, and he was like, oh, you got to get that one. I think he wanted it ironically. It's pretty funny.
I mean, if he's a Pretty Deadly fan, he should not want it actually, but
Yeah,
guess
well,
he
I
likes
mean,
it.
it'd be great to go up against Pretty Deadly. You know, in his world, Pretty Deadly can just beat the hell out of Axiom all day. Pretty Deadly are the tag team champions in his wrestling league with his toys.
for now,
They beat the Usos at WrestleMania.
wait and see. He gets Fraxium as a new team.
Oh, we don't have the Nathan Frazier yet. We got to find one of those now.
Yeah, I think that might be a hard find.
Yeah.
Good luck.
I found him a Lyra Valkyria and a Will Ospreay.
Did she have the wings?
No, there's no wings. It's a basic.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, unfortunately. Axiom
I mean, it's
action
important.
figures. Who knew, right?
Details are important with toys.
Yeah. Oh yeah. We just got an ultimate final boss. Very cool. He's got like a jacket that says Final Boss on the back. Very nice. He comes with the People's Championship.
Amazing.
It's very nice. Very detailed.
It's incredible the amount of toys they have.
Yeah,
And
it's
we'll keep
really nice.
having.
The details. Yeah, well, that's it. Every little outfit, every little, accessory
Yeah.
change can be a new toy that they make, and people will buy it. I will buy it.
Yeah, you will have it. Like,
Someone will
loves
have it. Probably me.
I've seen the buckets of toys he has. People, it's legit.
Yeah, my son has a massive collection, and I have some. And then he comes and he raids my collection, and then he has more. It's usually how it goes.
What's behind him right now is just a small sample. Very
Yeah.
small sample.
Yeah. But he's got his eye on a few of these things back here, so eventually things will disappear, and then other things will replace them,
Circle of life.
The circle of life. So Nia and Tiffy right now wrestling in the main event of SmackDown. WWE running TV this week with two women's main events for their show. They had Rhea and Io against Julia and Roxanne Perez. Roxanne Perez? No. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, you had it right. Yeah.
Okay. I was like, that's not her name. No, it is her name. And now we got Nia and Tiffy main event of SmackDown. So that's something. It's good. It's fine.
Well,
It feels like it doesn't feel like a big deal, you know? Like it used to be, if that would happen in a week, people would go, wow, look at WWE. But now it's like, oh, yeah, I didn't even notice, you know?
Maybe it's them trying to push like the women's division because they might have a pay-per-view in July or PLE in July. So it's them trying to get more attention on the division, I guess.
Ah. You see a big picture here, John. Interesting. Nia just ran Tiffy's head into the corner with her butt right in the head. And Tiffy took a bump out of the ring.
I think she's going to, yeah. I'm about to see that right now, actually.
Oh, I didn't know you were
Yeah.
behind me on your stream there, Johnny. That's SmackDown so far. Like, it's been a long show, but a lot of it has just been really long matches that have gone nowhere.
And a Drew McIntyre promo.
Yeah, that went nowhere.
That's been SmackDown so far.
Yeah. And Raw this week was AJ and Finn. Hey. AJ beat Finn. That was kind of fun.
We've seen better. It was okay. I thought the best part of Raw was Punk. Like the beginning, I think, of the show. That promo was pretty good, I thought.
Yeah. I guess. Saying, you know, it was his fault that, he should have seen it coming. Heyman's turned his back on him before.
Yep.
Should have never trusted him. Hit him in the head with a ladder. And I was like, oh, yeah, I remember that. I was at that one.
You were? Yes.
Yeah. I was like, I remember seeing that, being like, oh, no. Why? And then it didn't turn out really good. It was to, like, push Curtis Axel as a Paul Heyman guy instead. It was like, what? It failed miserably. They should have never done that, but anyways. Then they tried to have Cesaro with Heyman. You remember all that? Like when they
have Ryback with Heyman?
I don't know. They tried all sorts of stuff with Heyman, and none of it worked. Until Brock came back. You know?
Some things work. I'm still questioning this whole thing with Heyman and Seth, but they're trying. They're trying to make this work, I guess. I mean, at least this week, Seth got some heel heat because it helped having Punk around.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they were cheering more for for Punk than Seth when Seth came out for that promo.
Punk had a good line, too, about how once the music ends, then you actually have to do something about it.
Yeah.
That was good.
Yeah.
I enjoyed that.
I thought Seth had a good line where he was like, "Oh, Punk, you're out here crying, cry me a river." I was like, "Oh shit, Seth's getting in on it." That's a rough looking Samoan drop there from Nia Jax off the second.
Oh, I'm about to see it right now, I think.
Clunk.
I mean, they are in commercial break, so they're in a bit of a slow-mo right now. So, Nia doesn't go fast anyway, so imagine her going even slower. It can get really rough.
Yeah. That was a funny line, though, from Seth. The Cry Me a River. Come on. That was good.
I just feel like they got to move on from, like, as much as people say AEW needs to move on, WWE needs to move on too. Like,
yeah, Punk needs to move. Punk won't give it up, so Seth is getting in on the fun because why not? You know?
I mean, it has been years now. Like,
mm-hmm.
We really should move past this at this point. Like, I don't think it's that big of a deal anymore, but
Punk, he won't give it up. It's been so long. Yeah, I know.
Bitterness.
I know.
Bitter.
Yeah. Well, at least Punk and Sami Zayn are no longer enemies, I guess.
For now. Their interaction backstage didn't really fill me with confidence that they're going to remain a tag team.
Yeah. Interesting though, Braun and Seth attacking Punk, and then Sammy and Jey Uso coming out, and it's 3 guys, and then just Seth and Braun, and you go, is there gonna be a third man? People keep talking about it. Is there gonna be a third man? It feels like there should be.
Well, I mean, it is a tag match. It's not a 6-man tag, right? So,
yeah, for now.
For now. I think maybe if they do like a third man, you should kind of do it how it was, where you have a 6-man and it's a mystery man to show up at the event. Money in the Bank would be nice. That'd be kind of cool if they did it like that.
Could the third man just be, Logan Paul?
I mean, that's nothing great. I mean, sure, it could be, but you like it to be a bit of a surprise. Someone you haven't really seen in a while. Someone that's like, ooh, that's kind of shocking. But I can see options being limited and being like, well, it's
Hey,
just gonna be
David,
Logan
Johnny
Paul.
Oh, no,
if I am
not
being
this
honest,
again.
I was the first one in the
why
entire
not
world
just say
No.
Logan
to
Paul?
say
Game
that
over. Yankees
Logan Paul
win.
is something special. Mark my words.
Yankees win.
Trying to drown him out with Yankees victory.
I apologize. I probably shouldn't have said it
Yeah.
so much.
Well, you talk about a shock and a controversy as a third man, a mystery man. Ooh, stiff powerbomb. Jeez, Naya. I don't know if there's anything that would be more controversial and shocking than Brock Lesnar. And he would fit. Him and Braun Breaker together with Seth and Heyman, like, man.
That would be perfect if that was the case. But I don't. You think they're going to do that at this point? I feel like it's a bigger thing to have Brock show up. Like, he's just going to show up at Saturday night's main event. I would love it, but I'd be very surprised if they did that though.
Well, I'm not saying that they have a third man necessarily show up at Saturday night's main event, but just, maybe Brock is the third man at some point in this group. When they need a third man, absolutely,
I think they kind of need it, to be honest. Like, I don't know about you. I feel it's kind of stagnant right now, what's going on pretty much throughout WWE. You need something to really shock like the whole WWE like foundation, and that's what it would do. And I'm guessing something bad's about to happen because you're reacting to something that just happened, I guess, that I haven't seen yet.
Have you seen? Are they on the second rope yet?
Or she's just climbing the second rope right now.
The crash was pretty rough.
Uh-oh. Well, for the best here. There was
Proceed
almost a
with
fall
caution.
right there.
Here comes Naomi. And she's got a chair. Do you see the bump, John?
Gonna pick up for a slam. Go. Okay. Well, it wasn't as bad as like he made it out to be.
It was
Wasn't
pretty
as bad.
rough. Naomi is
I mean,
here
Nia
during the
rolled-
title match. She got a chair. She looks very angry. Here comes Jade Cargill.
Did they air the music early? I feel
For
like they
Naomi?
cued the music. Yeah, I think they
Maybe.
cued the music too early.
Jade Cargill stops Naomi. Oh, sends Naomi into the fans. And they're gone. Okay. Match continues. Obviously, Brock Lesnar would be like the coolest option. Him and Braun Breaker would be a cool team together with Seth there as their leader would be amazing. Heyman, of course, a tie-in works. But, the allegations and the Vince stuff, can Brock actually come back? Is that acceptable? At this point in America, it feels like anything is acceptable, so maybe? Would wrestling fans be willing to go, yeah, all right, this is cool? I'm not sure. I don't even know how I feel about it, because I'm like,
I mean, if
What
wrestling
exactly
fans-
happened? What's true? What's not? I don't know. Oof.
Hold on a minute, player. Super chat. Super chat.
Hold on a minute, player.
Super chat. Super chat.
Wow. Are we ready to accept Brock Lesnar before we address Angelo, John?
To me, there's far more egregious things going on. The fact that Logan Paul is accepted in WWE, I think, is far worse than what Brock did, to be honest.
Well,
you know Logan Paul's history.
I mean, Brock.
Hey,
is-
Dave and Johnny, if
not
I'm
again.
being honest,
I'm sorry.
I was the first
No,
one in the entire
no, you did it
to
again.
say that
Can we not have
Logan
this
Paul
guy?
is something special.
Fucking
Mark
up my
my
show. I
words.
hate this guy. Can I don't even know where
Make a
it
note
was.
to production.
Yeah, that's enough of this guy. Oh fuck.
Oh, I'm just at the table right now, which didn't break.
No, that was a rough bonsai drop that Nia just did on her. But it was only a 2 count because Tiffany grabbed the bottom rope.
Oh, I just saw a crummy Samoan drop.
Dang.
That's bonsai, isn't it?
Hold on a minute, player.
Wait a minute. Like, she kicks out of the bonsai? Is that the first one to ever kick out of the bonsai?
Brock is alleged to have been involved with trafficking of a woman with Vince McMahon. Like, that's some pretty bad stuff.
Ooh.
I don't know exactly what Logan... What?
I just saw the bonsai.
Oh. I thought you... Ooh, Nia grabbed the chair, but Nia grabbed the belt. Oh, holy shit. Nia's busted open like crazy. Oh, my God.
So she didn't kick out of the bonsai. She grabbed the rope. Just for clarification.
Watch the
then.
chair shot. Okay?
I'm waiting for her. She's going to get the belt.
So Nia grabs the belt
Yeah. I'm
to
there.
go leave. The referee takes the belt away, goes to put the belt back. Nia grabs a chair. Tiffy kicks the chair into Nia's face, and it explodes Nia's face with so much blood. And then Tiffy hits the moonsault for the win. Tiffy wins. Nia is a
because the
bloody
velocity.
mess.
The velocity of that kick.
Oh,
There
my
was no holding back.
God.
That was like a Van Daminator on that kick. Wow. What a kick.
Oh,
That was a 100% RVD kick right there.
I'm rewinding to see this kick again, brother. That was crazy. Pow! Oh, jeez.
We need more of that in WWE.
So much blood. She was bleeding profusely immediately. What a
Well,
finish.
I'm sure.
Take
it's
that,
'cause
Nia Jax.
It's the end of the chair, right? And her face is, and you saw the velocity, bam, like right in, I'm sure it probably broke her nose like instantly when that happened. And like cut her head open probably as well.
Yeah.
They faded to black very quickly afterwards, by the way. I don't know.
Yeah, show was over. Show's over,
Show is
folks.
over. Yeah, go home. Nia's out of the ring, gone.
Doctor with a towel right away. Like,
Exactly, yeah.
wow.
Well, that was quite the ending to SmackDown. I give him that. Like, that main event delivered there. That main event delivered. Wow.
That shit was crazy. Oh,
what
my God.
a night. What a night.
What a finish. And, like, if it happens to anybody else, you go, come on, Tiffy. But it happened to Nia, and you go, she probably deserved it.
Well,
Nia's
it
stiff
may
as
have been
hell.
it may have been a receipt. If not for Tiffany, maybe for somebody else. So
Nia brags
Maybe.
about hurting people. Wow.
well, that was wow. That was very enjoyable. They they delivered there. Got to
Oh
give them
my
that.
God. Well, not
I'll say
on
this.
purpose.
Well, yeah, but sometimes
was
it's
all
some
right.
of the best things. Some of the best things that can happen, like spur of the moment. So
That was one of the best finishes in SmackDown history.
That's very difficult to say. Actually, there's been some great.
Sorry, she kicked her in the face with a chair with a Van Daminator. Chair explodes Nia's face. Moonsault 1, 2, 3. Tremendous. Defends the title. Tremendous finish. I mean, you do one kick to the face, and then your opponent comes out bloody the hard way. Then and it's on the finish, and then you hit your finisher because that's what you're supposed to do. And like, couldn't have ended more perfectly.
I mean, it's good, but I mean, SmackDown history. I mean, we've had TLCs, not just TLC this year, but TLCs in the past on SmackDown. Like, I mean, there's been one
of the best finishes you'll ever see on SmackDown.
I would say this probably for women's wrestling, it may be the best. I'd probably say that.
Best accidental finish too.
Yeah.
Tremendous.
Yeah. Well, again, sometimes some of the best moments are accidental.
Yeah. Whoa. So much blood, brother, on Nia Jax. Crimson Mask. Angelo Contagonis dropping a super chat. Angelo in the chat over at join.ringsidereport.net. Jason Pete as well. Angelo says, did you hear my chants at the wrestling show last week, Johnny? He was chanting for you. Did you hear him?
Well, I don't believe Angelo was the one who said, grab his dick. I'm sure it was somebody else that said that. I imagine Angelo probably heard that.
When you hear that, you go, oh, okay, and then get a good handful?
I don't know why someone was doing that, but someone was doing that like almost throughout the whole night for whatever reason, you know.
Maybe he wanted to see somebody grab penis. What do you mean? Possibly. Seems obvious to me.
I believe someone asked for like a titty twister too, as well, if I'm not mistaken.
That's fun.
Not in my match, but I have heard that was done throughout the show. So, but no, Angela, I didn't hear that. I heard other things that were more vulgar. But what was your chant? I'd like to know.
All right. We would like to know what your chant was, so Johnny can see if it registers anything. Johnny's got some cool new merch. He's got a mask behind him that he's selling. I see that mask. Very nice. Look at all that cool Johnny merch. T-shirts, masks, dolls. So much cool merch of yourself.
Yeah, I sold one of the dolls, so one of the shirts. Right there, that shirt there. So, yeah. The shirt actually right there, actually, yeah. So, yeah. They're going, which is good. You can always buy stuff from me. You can DM me. That's how I sell them. Or you can buy Ringside Report merch. You can buy this T-shirt at merch.ringsidereport.net.
Exactly.
Many different colors, too, it comes in as well. Many different sizes. So get it
for
now.
Everybody. We've got a shirt for everybody. So that was SmackDown tonight. Kind of a fun finish. Not a super exciting show overall. Chad Gable wrestled Penta on Raw this week. Penta won. Thought it was all right.
I feel, again, they've had better matches, and the finish was what the Panama Sunrise. He did the Adam Cole finish.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they're like, oh, it was so amazing. I'm like, I see this pretty much every week. It's not really that amazing, but a match happened. I honestly, I think SmackDown helps with that main event, obviously, but I think I enjoyed SmackDown more than Raw this week.
Yeah, Raw was not super exciting. Gunther also telling Jey Uso that he's not a real champion, he's not comfortable being a champion, and he will face the winner of Logan Paul, Jey Uso, for the world title on Raw, I think, in a couple weeks.
I thought maybe Money in the Bank, but okay, if it's going to be on Raw. Interesting.
I thought it was on Raw. Didn't he say it was like June 8th or something? June?
Well, because it's so close to Money in the Bank, right? So I'm like, oh, it's got to be Money in the Bank, whatever date that he said.
I thought he said June 9th.
Well, then
which is a Monday.
Wow.
I think it's a Raw.
Which would be, yeah, and it would be right after Money in the Bank, right?
Yeah.
Which is crazy. Like, you're going to have the PLE, then the title match? Huh. Weird.
Well, somebody's going to win a Money in the Bank briefcase, and then the following Raw, you're going to have a title match. Cash in time, you know? Punk cashes in, new champion. Gunther wins, Punk cashes, new champ.
And I think it's fair to say the cash-in will be on the World Heavyweight Champion because they aren't going to end the John Cena reign with a cash-in.
Unless Cody qualifies for Money in the Bank, wins Money in the Bank, and challenges Cena. Or Roman.
Well, I was hoping Punk would actually do that, but sure.
Where are Roman and Cody? Can they come back?
They said Roman's coming back in June, so I expect Roman for Saudi Arabia.
Right.
And Cody, I think they said around SummerSlam, so maybe a little bit after Roman, I'm guessing.
Mm-hmm. Punk's not going to Saudi Arabia. There was a promo video with him on it, and then there was a new promo video with him not on it because he's not going. Good for him.
People really shouldn't be surprised by this.
Mm-mm.
Like, why does he want to go there? It's just, we've said this many times in the past. It's pretty much just a glorified live event, house show, pretty much. You don't really need to go there. And, like, why spend days away from your family if you don't have to? I'm sure he doesn't have to. So, he's not going to do it. And I don't think it hurts his position whatsoever in the company.
He also referred to it as blood money in the past, so I don't think he's willing to go.
He has some morals that he sticks up for. So, yeah, I nothing but respect for that.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And that's basically what's going on in WWE. Next week, we'll preview WWE Saturday night's main event. That'll happen. Right? And we'll preview Double or Nothing, because that's also next weekend.
I mean, that's the big thing, really, next week, right? Because that's a pay-per-view. Where Sunday night's main event, it's a big show, but...
It's a big show.
I mean, again, we said it's bigger than Backlash. But Double or Nothing, I mean, that's the big AEW anniversary show, and pay-per-view anniversary show. It's the first ever pay-per-view.
And you're excited about Double or Nothing. You're hyped for this one. You were talking to me before the show. You were saying that they really set it up nicely. I think they've set up a few things pretty well. Hangman and Ospreay is a match that I'm very excited about. The winner gets a world title shot at All In. The winner is probably the next AEW World Champion. And I'm not sure who wins. But you know me. Team Hangman all day. I want the Hanger to win. Got the Hangman shirt right now. Hanger. But I love Ospreay too. So I'm not mad either way. I think they're both two of the best pro wrestlers in the world. And I agree with Will Ospreay when he says there's nobody in the WWE that can touch him. He's not wrong. There's great wrestlers in the WWE, but in the ring, they're not quite as good as Will Ospreay.
Well, I think got to kind of clarify what he said on a week-to-week basis, I think is what he said. Because there's a lot of great wrestlers in WWE. He doesn't deny that whatsoever. He just said on a week-to-week basis. And I can agree on the sense that watching television, because this was a big thing that I noticed, was that you have the stars. We had Punk, we had Seth, but they were just there. Where in AEW, if you get them, like an Ospreay, Hangman, they're more than likely wrestling on the show. And that's it. Yes. You'll see the stars usually wrestle, if not on Dynamite, on Collision. Where in WWE, you kind of have to wait long periods of time to finally see the top guys wrestle. So in that sense, I understand Ospreay because he actually wrestles where the other guys don't wrestle that much.
Yes. And his matches are very good. And his big matches on pay-per-views are incredible.
I mean, the cage match, it really stands out right now. It's undeniable, that match with him and Fletcher. I mean, it's potentially match of the year right now.
Yeah. He's on another level. And I saw people disagreeing and mad at Ospreay and this and that. It's like, oh, well, AEW, they don't have as many fans. There's not as many people in the arenas. It's like, yeah. He didn't say that he draws more money than these guys. He doesn't. He's just said technically he is better. His matches are better. Critically, they are better received. He has the best matches. He is the best wrestler, if not the best, one of the best wrestlers going today. So I don't disagree when Ospreay says these things, and I like that he says these things. I like that he defends AEW. I like that he says this is where the best wrestle. I like that he is a company guy, because you have to fly the flag. You have to say why you're different than the biggest company in the world. You are the competing brand, and you do have to stand up for yourself. And I like that he does that. I like that he's vocal. I like that he's proud of AEW. And I agree with him in a lot of respects. I think AEW, and I think you would agree, John, that their matches in the ring, it's a far better product. They are not as limited as the WWE, right? WWE has more limits put on them that you can obviously see. But as far as, when we watch wrestling, I think we enjoy the AEW wrestling more than the WWE.
Well, I think, again, I watched this week. It's a prime example of what WWE, they're limited in terms of the wrestling because they're very story-driven. And I thought AJ versus Finn Balor was a fine example of that this week. Where I'm like, this has been better in the past. I know they can do better, but because they're writing this whole story and there had to be an interference with Penta, they have to slowly build up to it. And they have a certain amount of time that they have to fill up. So they're doing that. But they pretty much have to build towards that story, or eventually there'll be interference. And they're pretty much very focused on that, is getting those one or two shots that they have to get. Focus on that, instant replay, and then pretty much just reaction, lead to the next thing, take your time. Where AEW, it's pretty much they'll throw everything at you, boom, 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 boom. That's what we pretty much saw to start the show. And that's a pretty good way to start the show. Any show, really, wrestling show. You just want to see action thrown at your face, and they definitely delivered that. But again, like AEW, they can do that because they just focus more on the wrestling. WWE, it's more story-driven.
It's different, right? Two different shows. That's why when Ospreay says he has the better wrestling matches, it's like, yeah, well, that's what AEW does. They're a wrestling company. WWE does sports entertainment. It's a different thing.
I find a huge thing, too. I mean, you just look at the times. Like, even if WWE does a long match, not a lot's happening in those long matches because a lot of it's commercial break driven. I think that AJ and Finn had 2 commercial breaks, if I'm not mistaken. So, like, on a lot of that, not much is going to happen there.
Yeah.
Where I find AEW, you can actually miss stuff in the commercial break. Like, I'm not mistaken, Moxley got bust open in the commercial break. So it almost feels like that they don't care almost about the commercial. They're just going to go out there. They're going to have a match. And it's on television. Oh, well, that's great.
Yeah. Yeah, WWE, when they go to commercial break, like we watch it on Netflix here in Canada, right?
Yeah.
And it's a TV show in the States, so they go to commercial on the USA Network. And you could tell that the wrestlers know when they're in commercial break because they do nothing. We're watching them wrestle during their commercial. People in the States don't get to see it. They're doing nothing.
It's funny, for years it'd be like, oh, I wish I could see what's happening. And WWE would do that. I think on their website they'd show what's happening during the break. But now after watching it for the last couple of years, I'm like, or the last little bit now, I'm like, I don't really need this actually. If anything, it may hurt the match more than help it, to be honest.
Yeah.
Because the intensity drops so much that it actually takes you out of the match by the time you get back into it.
Yep. It's not good. It's It's really bad when they do that. But, hey, it's what they're doing. Jon Moxley beat Samoa Joe in a steel cage match with help from Gabe Kidd, who's now with those guys. They're going to do Anarchy in the Arena. That's been announced. Moxley retains the AEW World Championship. Anarchy in the Arena will be at Double or Nothing. Right?
Anarchy in the Arena is a Double or Nothing, yeah. I don't know who's going to be in Anarchy in the Arena. They didn't say who exactly is in it, but that will be a match.
Right. So we don't know who's in it, but we know that they're doing it.
You could have a good idea who's going to be in it. We've been talking about it for weeks now, right?
Yeah.
It's going to be a version of Moxley's crew against Joe's crew. Probably what's going to be the main event.
I'm guessing Gabe Kidd will be in this, right? Gabe Kidd,
Right.
Moxley, the Young Bucks seem to be involved. Maybe Claudio gets thrown in there. It's 5, right? That's enough.
That's enough.
And then they go up against Kenny, Swerve,
Yep.
and others. Joe,
Hobbs,
and what's his name?
Shibata.
Okay. Anarchy, John. Also at Double or Nothing, we'll see Jamie Hayter wrestle Mercedes Moné in the Owen Hart Cup tournament final. Winner gets an AEW Women's World Title match against, hopefully, Toni Storm. But Toni will be defending her title now against Mina Shirakawa, who earned a shot in another 4-way title eliminator match this week on Dynamite featuring Toni Storm. And she actually pinned Toni Storm to win. Sky Blue and somebody else was in this. Who was it? Azam? Who's it?
Azam? I think, something like that.
I don't know.
She beat, no, she didn't beat Mercedes, but she took one of Mercedes' titles, actually. The New Japan Women's Strong title. She took that championship. So it actually, like, I don't mind her being in that match. Like, it was kind of out of nowhere, but it made sense. Because she deserved to be a contender, actually.
If you keep putting Toni Storm in 4-way matches, eventually someone other than Toni Storm is going to win one. Like, what is that?
Yeah, and that's what happened. I'm surprised you're not more upset about how Mina... There was a lot of butt shown on that one. I imagine your son wasn't watching that match because, wow, did we see a lot of Mina's butt.
AEW is not for the children.
Oh, that's good.
You know, for the most part, it's not. Once in a while, you can see one match here or there, but my son mostly watches WWE. He doesn't watch AEW. I mean, he's familiar with it, but he's not really paying attention. He doesn't watch Dynamite.
Well, Mina's now full-time AEW now, so I guess this is to help bring her in, give her a big win, and she gets a pay-per-view match. And there's history, too, right? We've been down this road before with Toni and Mina. Wasn't there like a 3-way, like, lover
with Mariah,
going on?
She was with Mariah May. Yeah, so they're going back to that without Mariah.
But Toni was involved with that, too. Like, so, yeah, going back to it, and I think it'll be an okay match. I mean, the 4-way was fine for what it was, but we'll see what happens with this. I'm not thinking it's going to be the greatest. Like, it's not Toni against Mercedes. Like, I'm not that hyped for it, but
yeah,
we'll see what happens. Everything Toni's been doing so far has been pretty fantastic. Toni Storm, that is. So, I mean, I would think the match should be good.
Yeah, Toni Storm's great. She'll make anything good. Hurt Syndicate defended the tag titles against Top Flight this week. And then
it was non-title.
Oh, whatever. They beat Top Flight in a match, but they will be defending their titles against Dustin Rhodes and Sammy Guevara, who are, I guess, the Ring of Honor tag champs.
That's a spoiler, too, because they haven't had Collision yet, but they will have Collision. But, yes, that will happen. Because they became number one contenders. They are the Ring of Honor tag team champions, but now they're number one contenders for the AEW titles. So it is champion versus champion, but only the AEW tag titles on the line.
So that hasn't happened yet, but it was recorded, so we know that it's happening?
That's happening, and your favorite, Nature Boy, is going to be on Collision tomorrow.
Really?
Yep. Slick Rick is back in AEW.
Why?
There's a tribute to Mongo they're going to have.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. FTR also has a match against Daniel Garcia and Nigel McGuinness. Nigel McGuinness coming out to wrestle at Double or Nothing. That made official this week.
You know, at first I'm like, ugh. But then I think about it, I'm like, well, it makes sense because they've been doing this whole like feud with Tony Schiavone. And it's like, where is this going? And Nigel stepped up for Tony. And now we have a match because of it. So it actually led to something. It's kind of like if people are making fun of JR, it's happened in the past. And then Jerry Lawler stood up for him, and they ended up having a match with Lawler. So
it's like a Pat McAfee, Michael Cole thing.
Wow. I talked about this with the hitting the turnbuckle guys. Like, I thought that match was one of the worst things I've seen this year, easily. I thought it was a pathetic attempt by WWE to make us believe for 1 second that McAfee should be competitive with Gunther. And it's funny because one of the guys was like, it's funny, his name was also David. He was like, oh, I actually really like that match. And everyone was just like, wow, I can't believe you're saying that. Yeah, I know. Exactly.
It was horrible.
But I think he liked the idea of what they were trying to do. And like, I agree, the idea is fine if that was like Jerry Lawler doing it. Like someone you can believe in. And like, okay, he'd fight whenever he tries his best. But he's also like an experienced wrestler, so you believe it. McAfee, not so much whatsoever. Yet they tried. And I didn't even get into this, but the fact that McAfee's offense looked like garbage, and he made Gunther's offense look like garbage because he's not very good at selling at all, it was just bad. Like I said, like someone should be fired for that match because it was pathetic.
But they're all patting each other on the back about it.
Because some people actually like the match. I don't know why, but
it was really bad. It was an insult. And it made Gunther look really bad, too, just for having to take any of McAfee's offense.
I couldn't believe it. Like, people were chanting, this is awesome for the women's three-way we saw tonight. I'm like, this match is competent at best.
Yeah.
And you're saying this is awesome for this stuff? I'm like, this. It doesn't take much for people to be happy, I guess. It's amazing, but the bar is very low.
I feel like people are bored and they just want to chant something.
Potentially.
They want it to be awesome so badly, You buy a ticket, you're there, you get to see WWE, you're like, I hope this is awesome. And you're seeing them wrestle, you're like, yeah, this is awesome, right? This is awesome. This must be awesome. That's all chanting.
It's supposed to be. Yeah, it's supposed to be awesome.
It's wishful chanting.
And it's favorites, too. It's like, well, my favorite's in here, right? Like, this person's good, so it has to be awesome.
Mm-hmm.
I think a lot of it, and maybe I'm biased here about this, like, oh, I'm bashing women, but like I feel like in the women, like, a lot of them have, like, big fan base, and it's like, they can't do anything wrong. They're the best. They have to be good. They deserve this. Give them everything.
Yeah. And then when they get everything, then they turn on them.
Becky
Just
Hogan,
ask Charlotte and Becky.
Maybe there'll be a tag team one day.
Yeah. I mean, they did team up again after the beef, didn't they?
Didn't they do something like Survivor Series team or whatever? Or,
yeah,
something like that. Yeah.
So
I mean,
maybe.
Business, whatever. I mean, we'll see. Again, they have a pay-per-view coming up, right? So
yeah. I think the most important thing that happened on AEW Dynamite this week, though, John, was not the tag team match that was pretty good with Hangman and Ospreay teaming up against Alexander and Takeshita. I thought that was a pretty good match.
Good finish.
Yeah, but the big deal was MJF finally getting the thumbs up from Roberto Lashley and joining the Hurt Syndicate. MJF now in the Hurt Syndicate, officially. The only thing I didn't like about this, it did take a while to get here, but fine, we're here. It's good. I'm happy we're here. I like the celebration with MJF and everything. It was all good. But, immediately we have to do, there's a backstage promo after the in-ring celebration with MJF and MVP. And MJF is like, oh, I got to look over the contract for me in this group, and I got to get my lawyer involved. And MVP is like, what? What is that? Already MJF is like a nuisance and a pain in the group, and you can see it splintering off. They just got together. Can't you just leave it at that in the ring? Let's not see them again tonight. We didn't need to do the MJF has a lawyer and he's part of the group and not really, and hey, let's do all this other stuff. It's
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. They're doing too much. Take it one beat at a time with your story. Don't do 2 beats right. He joins the group and there's problems already. It's they just were barely wanting him in the group for weeks. Now he joins the group and it's 10 minutes later, all of a sudden he's got problems with MVP. And you're like, what? Why?
So I have a theory. Now, I don't have any insider information. This is just how I'm looking at it. I feel they didn't want it to go in this direction, but because it got so over, they kept milking it. And then they're like, well, we got to have a payoff for this. And I don't think the payoff was supposed to be MJF join the group. But they realized that's what the people wanted, giving people what they wanted. They gave what they wanted, but that's not that's not the end game for this. So that's why they threw that in at the end there, I think.
So it'll be a very short-lived union and they'll break up quickly.
Well, I mean, they might actually drag out the breakup, right? Because they have to have that tag match first, right? Maybe MJF kind of screws things up at the pay-per-view. I could see something like that go down. Or he could screw things up on Dynamite. Again, wait and see what happens with this. I thought, yes, it was long, this whole thing, but I really enjoyed how it built up to this. I enjoyed the first MJF promo that got you ready for when it happened later on. And then when they went to go, they chased him and they had to go behind Tony Khan to go get him. And then the whole vote segment part and the way that was done. And I love the whole Bobby's wearing the t-shirt with the thumbs down. It set a mood right there where it's uh-oh. And MJF sold it so well. To me, this was really one of the best things I've seen in AEW this year, I think. Just that whole, part of Dynamite this week.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. MJF is, he's a great performer. He's great. But this feels like a side quest for him.
Again, we don't know exactly where we're going with all this. I feel that they could make something out of this more than just I'll break them up, but wait and see. I'm just very happy that I don't know how you feel about this, but the way I see it, this is the best use of Bobby Lashley I've seen in maybe ever. And that's covering a lot of ground, but
TNA World Champion Bobby Lashley was pretty cool.
But in terms of what he did, he was cool because of everything around him kind of thing. But what he did, he's barely doing much of anything. And it's it's amazing how insanely over he is right now as a character. He's doing some of his best work by barely doing anything. That shows how super over he is. I thought just on look alone he should be world champion. But based on what they're presenting right now, It's like I feel like he needs to be champion sooner than later.
Disagree.
Well, I understand. You're not a big Bobby Lashley fan, but
World
I'm an even
champion.
bigger
There's so
fan.
many guys. Like, he's not that over, man. Come on. There's so many guys that should be champion and not him. MJF is one of them. Hangman is another. Ospreay is another. Swerve is another. Like, there's so many. More over. Kenny. Okada. Like, so many guys.
I think Bobby's up there. Like I think easily.
Whatever happened to Jeff Jarrett's quest for the belt?
I think Jeff took an early retirement from what it looks like.
Did he?
I mean, does he do anything now? Like
No, but you remember that?
I remember that, but it faded away. So it is a long year, and we're not even halfway through it yet. But it's starting to tick away on him.
Is it possible that Hangman becomes champion and then Jeff Jarrett reemerges to challenge him, and it all comes full circle?
I think we're gonna get a match of MJF versus Jeff Jarrett, but it'll just be on like a Dynamite or something. I'm expecting.
All right. Okay, and we saw Taz pay tribute to his friend and rival Sabu this week, and it was emotional, man. Seeing Taz start crying, I was like, "Oh man, didn't expect that. Expect to see Taz break." It was like, "Oh, Taz."
It's just funny his wordage too, like how he put over aura, and I very much like him. Like I'm not a big fan of that word, like how it's being overused and all that, but the way he used it there to describe Sabu and how Sabu was aura before aura, like that's perfect right there. What he said, and when you think about like big feuds like in the '90s, like you think Austin Rock. And you think Hogan and Sting, like in ECW, it was Sabu and Taz.
Yeah. I mean, he broke his neck, right? Taz broke Sabu's neck.
Broke his jaw too, just with a clothesline.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that was a serious feud. When Sabu came back after the broken neck to get revenge on Taz, like, that was crazy.
Well, what's even crazier, I remember, like, this is early, like, I want to say, 94, 95, something like that. Like, when Sabu was, like, the ECW TV champion, he didn't want to lose to a guy, but he's like, I hate this guy so much, I'd rather lose to Taz. And you know how much I don't like Taz. He told Paul E that. So it's just amazing, like, the ups and downs Sabu and Taz have had back and forth. I think Sabu also beat Taz for the FTW title. He was the only guy to do that, to beat Taz for his own title. And then they end up having a match again on a pay-per-view. They made money off that. I mean, their feud for a while, that was a big part of ECW and what it was.
Yeah, Taz and Sabu, I mean, that feud was legendary, and Sabu was one of the main characters in ECW. Without Sabu, ECW isn't what it became. And, like,
yeah,
without him, like, he tied together so much with the hardcore, the blood and guts, the tables, the barbed wire, the chairs, all that stuff. But, you know, there were a lot of guys in ECW that kind of did that, but their wrestling, their athleticism wasn't really there, so they kind of relied on the weapons and the hardcore. But Sabu was an incredible athlete and was able to incorporate the weapons with the athleticism in a way that you'd never seen before. And he really, made the ECW style, he gave it some weight, some class, because it was no, this isn't garbage wrestling. Sabu is an artist over here, using the weapons with his athleticism, doing amazing things that you've never, ever seen in your life. He added so much credibility to that ECW style, where you would see guys and it was just chair shot, whatever. But Sabu would be jumping off the chair to the top rope and then doing a leg drop, putting you through a table outside the ring. It was just this magic that he would do. And again, so innovative. So innovative. He was an incredible wrestler. And I remember seeing Sabu for the first time thinking, who is this guy? Where does he come from? Why is he all chained up? They had the whole Hannibal Lecter mask on him, wheeled him out all chained up, and then they released him.
Yeah.
And then you saw him wrestle, and it was just unbelievable.
The thing that really stood out, I remember watching him early on, was the triple jump moonsault. When I saw that for the first time, I was like, how the heck did he do that? I had to watch that over and over again. It's wow. The fact that he could pull that off, not only one jump, two, and then the back, insane. And to see that, and then I have to go back and watch WWF and WCW. It's you talk about the difference in wrestling, nothing compared to Sabu. And it was amazing that I didn't know at the time that WCW had him, and even WWF had him as well. But you could tell by his style that he just didn't fit there, sadly. He should have, but he didn't.
Well, he was ahead of his time. I think if Sabu wrestled today in AEW, people would be going nuts.
We saw him a little bit, right? He had an appearance there with Jericho, or something. He was an enforcer in a match or something.
Yes. And he did have a WWE run, and it was pretty amazing. He had that match with John Cena. He had that match with Rey Mysterio. He had a little run.
I mean, yeah, he had a run. I think the best thing he did was the whole when he jumped on John Cena and gave him black eye through the table. That was incredible when that happened. And that was the peak of it, sadly. He had some matches here and there that were okay. And the Cena match is fine for what it is, but Sabu really should have won that match. Because I don't know if he ever really recovered after that. He never really believed in Sabu. Yeah, he wrestled the Big Show at SummerSlam, but he never believed for a second Sabu was ever going to win. And yeah, he had a couple cool matches teaming with RVD against RVD, but he was just kind of there, sadly. They never really got serious behind Sabu because they never really were serious in ECW. So it was sad that he was never as big as he should have been in WWE.
He also was in the car with RVD when they got pulled over and found with some weed, and was there cocaine too?
I forget if there was other drugs, but yeah, he was there, and that didn't help him as well. That hurt him as well.
Didn't help RVD. They took the titles off of him. He was WWE champion at the time.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. I mean, it's a different time too, because it happens to people now, and it happens to the Usos. It happens to Liv Morgan. It's not. No one really cares about it for the most part. But now, back then in 2006, I think it was kind of a big deal, and Vince didn't like that kind of stuff. So RVD unfortunately lost both titles, the WWE and ECW title, and Sabu got further pushed down the card, I think, after that.
Yeah. That's it.
Didn't last much longer.
No. No, he was gone very soon after. So that was his run in WWE, but, you know, an incredible legend. He went into the WWE. Is he in the WWE Hall of Fame?
No, the Sheik was.
Oh, yeah, he
inducted the Sheik.
Yeah, well, he should be in the WWE Hall of Fame because he's a legend of the business.
I mean, they always talk about guys that should have been millionaires. Like, he should have been, because without him, a lot of guys wouldn't be where they are today. Like, he was truly an inspiration for so many wrestlers going today and probably in the future.
Mm-hmm. It's funny, you know, RVD and Sabu both trained under the Sheik, both came up together. You know, their careers intertwined. Both big stars, very over, but it seems like RVD, you know, like he was able to make it work in WWE way better. He was able to make the money and get over, you know, and Sabu wasn't able to quite make it happen. But he should have the same money. You know what I mean? Like, he should be kind of in that same ballpark as RVD, where he's good and doing well, but it just didn't quite work out in the same way. But that's wrestling, you know? It's tricky.
Well, yeah, you're right about the whole tricky thing. Like, I think it's just RVD was able to navigate the political system better than Sabu was. I think Sabu wasn't able to hide his demons as much, or didn't want to hide his demons as much as RVD, like, was, you know, like, whatever. I think his biggest thing was just smoking weed, right? So
RVD, yeah. Sabu was a little bit more.
Sabu had a lot of other things. And Sabu also, what the rumors are, he didn't mind just saying whatever came to mind. And as much as that's okay for some people can take that the wrong way in wrestling and don't really like open mind and free spirit so much. So that can hurt you. And I think that might probably hurt him, especially as you get further on in wrestling.
Mm-hmm. Well, Sabu, rest in peace, passing away this week, just 60 years old. Just wrestled a couple weeks ago for GCW in a retirement match. People were blaming them for his death. I think that's wrong. People were saying, well, he did this drug kratom that's bad, and probably, but I don't think anybody forced him to do it. They're like, oh, let's give him the drug and he'll feel better and then he'll wrestle because he was hurting. But it's like, I think Sabu, you know, that wasn't the first time he did some drugs to feel good to do a wrestling match. You know, if you were familiar with Sabu, you know, he liked to party, had some demons, whatever you want to say. So, you know, I've heard stories about Sabu that I don't want to repeat, but I don't think, I think it's really unfair that wrestlers are getting blamed for Sabu's death right now, right? Like, that's, come on. They didn't put a gun to his head saying, do the drugs, Sabu. I don't think anybody ever said, you must do drugs, Sabu. I think Sabu was like, drugs? Yes, please.
I don't know the whole story about that whole last match, how it all came together. Just from what I gathered, and again, if this is even true or not, who knows, that Sabu would only do the match if he got the drugs that he asked for them to give him.
Cool.
Now, again, that's a fault on Sabu, but I also feel fault should be also on the promotion for supplying him with that and realizing he's only going to do the match if he had the drugs.
Oh, it's legal. Maybe the drugs are legal.
Apparently a dangerous drug, though, too.
Yeah, but they're you could buy them in a store.
Okay, but still, he's 60 years old.
So?
Like, I think
what he wants. He's a performer. It's what he wants. I mean, you know, rock stars ask for liquor and stuff, whatever. They're tour riders. Why not Sabu asking for some stuff? I want, 10 bags of chips. I want some Slim Jims. I want some Coke. And I want some, not Coke, but Coca-Cola. And I want some, legal weed or whatever. Why can't he ask for that? I'll take some of that kratom, whatever that is. I've never heard of this until Sabu died. And people are like, it's because of this. But, like, I don't know. It seems legal. It seems very dangerous. Seems like it may have been a contributing factor in his death. But, like, who knows what else he was doing, man? This is Sabu we're talking about.
Well, again, like, we don't know the whole details, right? Like, they don't know the cause of death even yet right now, right, at this point.
Yeah.
So it's hard to say. But, again, if he can't actually walk or do anything without this drug, I'd be a little concerned about this. I would feel, I don't think he's fit to wrestle at all, especially a death match, of all things. I don't know if a lot was put into his care, like thinking about, maybe it's not best for him to do this, again, at 60 years old.
It's funny, all this happens, on the same week that the Dark Side of the Ring on his uncle, the Sheik, comes out. And the Sheik, very similar, wrestling way too long to the point where it got very dangerous, where he was in a fire match in Japan and almost burned alive in a ring.
Yeah, I remember watching that match on tape back in the day and being like, this is one of the craziest things I've ever seen. And I find it very chilling that RVD, clearly he didn't plan this, but RVD says on Dark Side episode that the Sheik wouldn't have mind dying in the ring.
Mm-hmm.
And then what happens to Sabu not too long after? Sabu didn't die in the ring, but didn't die too long after having a match. It's kind of chilling that that aired.
Yeah. And Sabu, of course, interviewed on the episode about his uncle. Weird that it all comes out this week. Strange timing. And Dark Side episode on the Sheik was interesting. I knew most of those stories. Sheik was a promoter. Sheik was a big heel. He was very over. A lot of blood. A lot of hardcore style wrestling. Detroit. Trained Sabu. Trained RVD. Eventually his territory went under. And I didn't realize that he kind of overspent his money, didn't really save it. And then when things went south for the business, he was very broke. I didn't know that part of the story. But that was really the story of the Sheik that they told. He wrestled to late in his life. I don't really know what the dark side of it was. He was in the business. It went well for a while, really well, and then it didn't go so well, and he didn't save his money, and he kept wrestling, and it was not so good for him because he had to, make money, and eventually he died. That's a story for so many wrestlers, make money, didn't save it, had to keep wrestling when you're way past your athletic prime, just to make ends meet. Is that a unique story? I don't know. Did it need a Dark Side of the Ring?
I think it's mainly because he's such a historic figure in wrestling. And again, much like Sabu, so many people looked up to him. Still to this day, base a lot of the characters off the Sheik and what he did. I think that's why it got an episode, just because of what he accomplished in wrestling. And unfortunately, it has a bit of a sad ending. I didn't know that he broke his foot or leg in WCW.
Mm-hmm.
I remember that happening. I remember that moonsault. I didn't realize he broke his foot or leg in that incident too, though. That's really too bad.
Yeah. These things happen, though. I don't know. It just didn't seem like, of all the episodes, next week we're going to see the Daphne episode. That'll be sad and dark. This one of, the dark sides did not seem that dark of an episode. There have been far darker dark sides of the ring.
Well, we just came off one of the darkest episodes ever. So,
yeah.
I think you got to kind of calm it down a little bit because not everything can be a grisly, crazy kind of episode. I think this was more of a normal dark side. And nothing actually wrong with that because it's going to be probably very sad next week.
Yeah. It'll be rough. Johnny. The Yankees win. The Red Sox lose. Everything is right in the world.
The Red Sox didn't play today.
They lose. They lose all the time. They lost yesterday.
They're going to have their new Green Monster jerseys, I believe, this weekend.
They are nice.
I think they're great.
Yeah. They look good. Ooh, Dodgers are losing right now, 4-1 to the Angels in the 6th. Give me that. Give me that. The Rockies are losing again.
Who cares?
Oh, my God. What?
Do you really care? Like, it's not in your like league. Like, it's in the National League.
I want to see
Who
the
cares?
Dodgers lose as many games as possible. I root against them. I don't know.
Wow.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Sorry.
Bitterness.
Yeah.
Eddie.
It's not over. It's not. They talk shit, too, in the offseason. Like, fuck the Dodgers. It's on. Rockies are losing again. Rockies have a 7-36 record. They saw the White Sox last year as the worst team ever, and they're like, watch this. Watch what we can do. We're going to be the worst team in the history of baseball. 7 wins, 36 losses. How the fuck? They are the worst team in baseball by far. Colorado Rockies. Sucks to be them. Losing again tonight. No shit.
Well, I think we're going to need a nice update or a review of what happens July 1st when you go to see the Blue Jays play the Yankees in Toronto.
Can't wait.
I look forward to hearing about how it goes.
Remember what I was saying about the AL East being total garbage? Okay, let me give you an example. Just random Friday night in Major League Baseball. Yankees win, because of course they do, because they're the best, 26-18, first place. They beat the Mets 6-2 tonight. Thank you very much. Good start from Carlos Rodon. But look at what happened to the other teams in the East. Baltimore Orioles lose 4-3 to the Nationals. Toronto Blue Jays lose 5-4 to the Tigers. Boston Red Sox lose 4-2 to the Braves. They did play, and they lost, John.
They did play. Damn,
Yes.
no.
And
That's
they
terrible.
lost. Tampa Rays lose to the Marlins 9-4. So the Yankees tonight, the only team out of the 5 in the American League East that actually won a baseball game. And they beat the Mets, who are first place in the NL East and are very good. The Rays lost to the Marlins. The Red Sox lost to the Braves, who also suck.
It was just a bad night. It's one of those nights where things just didn't go well. Did the Leafs win, by the way? Are the Leafs still in the playoffs?
The Toronto Maple
No, you
Leafs beat the Florida Panthers tonight 2-0 to push it to Game 7.
Congratulations, Toronto.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Go Leafs.
They will get another game.
Leafs and Panthers
That's
Game
good.
7 in Toronto. Sunday, 7:30. Damn, that's a big game, brother. I might even tune in for like a minute or two. I mean,
Wow,
the
Gabe
Leafs.
watching hockey.
Wait, if they win, are they in the Stanley Cup Finals?
Conference finals.
Oh. Really? Who would they play?
Yes. They would play the Carolina Hurricanes.
Okay. And the Winnipeg Jets are playing the Dallas Stars tomorrow.
Game 6.
Dallas leads 3-2.
That's right.
So go Jets. I hope the Jets win. I'm going for all Canada. Go Canada. I hope Canada wins the hockey because, Canada should win hockey. The Jets, who would they play? Angelo says the Leafs will lose Game 7. I mean, I would assume that they would because, they seem to fail when they should win. What about the West? Who's in the West finals?
So if the Jets win, they would face the Oilers, Edmonton. Edmonton's already in the conference finals.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
So we could have a lot of
It'd be
Canadian teams. We could have an all-Canadian Stanley Cup final where we'd be guaranteed a Canadian team winning a Stanley Cup for the first time since Montreal in 1993.
It could happen.
Wow.
It could happen. I
That'd be
think
good
the
for the
Oilers
country.
will make the finals.
It'd be good for the country for the Stanley Cup to stay, in Canada.
I'll wait and see.
Don't you
For
think?
the best.
Of the
I mean,
Canadian
it'd
teams
be
that are
nice.
left, John, Edmonton, Winnipeg, and Toronto, who do you want to see win the Cup?
I'd like to see Edmonton win it because they went to the finals last year and they came up just one game short. So I'd rather see Edmonton win the Cup this year.
Has Winnipeg ever won, though?
Winnipeg's never won the Cup. Yeah, and
I'm
Edmonton
going
has
for
won
them.
a couple of times. Okay, well,
Chris Jericho, Kenny
they-
Omega, they've never won a cup. Like Edmonton, I know won Stanley Cups with like Gretzky in the 80s.
yes.
Toronto, I know, won a Stanley Cup in 1967, and I assume they won one before that as well.
They did.
And Winnipeg, like, they've never won, and they took their franchise away, and then they gave it back to them. Like, they've been through the ringer over there. I'm going for the Jets. Go Jets.
All right, Angelo's on my bandwagon.
All right. He wants Edmonton. He thinks Edmonton's going to win. Well, that'd be good. I want a Canadian team to win no matter what. I'm not going to watch it. I don't like care that much, but like, overall, it's good for the morale. Like I wanted Canada to win that hockey game against America and that thing that they did. You remember the thing? The Cup of Nations? What was that?
The four nations.
Yeah. Like when Canada was playing America in the final and like Trump was involved in everything, I was like, ooh, we better win this. If we don't win this, it's bad for Canada. And then they won. I was like, oof, that's a relief. It's the same type of thing. It's like, come on, Canada, you got to win the hockey because Canada loves the hockey so much,
Well, we got a lot of people predicting the Oilers to win. Angelo, me, Charles Barkley. So it's going to happen. And there we go. Now we got a Canadian flag, a nice AJ and Fred Sucks T-shirt.
Oh,
Elbows
Canada. There we go. Patriotic here. Look how patriotic I am, John. But I will be in Toronto, in Canada, on Canada Day, July 1st, rooting against Canada's only major league team and cheering very hard for the New York Yankees. So I'm patriotic to a point, brother. Everybody's patriotic to a point, brother. Or is that racist? I don't know. I forget the quote exactly. John, when's your next match? When can people see you in the ring?
So May 24th, back in Montreal. I think you saw my tweet recently about that.
Oh,
Big,
you're wrestling
CWA.
Johnny Taco?
Yeah, you know Johnny Taco.
Kill
yeah.
him.
A lot of people want me to, so I mean, you have to come to the show and see if I do. May 24th, next Saturday.
Okay. Well, check that out. I'm not promoting anything. I'll just be back at some point. Thursday we'll talk about MMA with Freddie and AJ, and that's it. Okay. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. We appreciate you. Thank you to the members for supporting over at join.ringsidereport.net. Angelo Contagonis in the chat. I see you. Thank you, Angelo. You're the super chat leader of the night. Jason Pete as well. Thank you, Jason. Patrick Deneau, member over at membership.ringsidereport.net. Thank you, Patrick.
Or
donate.ringsidereport.net as well.
Did Angelo ever say what he chanted? Because I heard other things about dicks and stuff like that, and titty twisters, but
Let's
I didn't hear
go,
what
Johnny.
Angelo said. Let's go, Johnny. Well, that's nice. I appreciate that. Unfortunately, the other guys yelling about dicks and titty twisters got drowned out, sadly. I'm sure Dave's happy about that.
I'm thrilled. Of course I'm happy about that. I love it. It's my favorite. That was me actually saying that stuff. Sorry, John.
I wish you were there. I mean, you weren't far away from it, actually,
Yeah.
but you weren't there, sadly.
I couldn't make it. There were a variety of reasons why I couldn't be there, but
Well, you guys were busy, which is good, though. You guys did some good work.
thank you. It was a long night. Goodness. Well, thank you, everybody. We'll be back real soon here on the Ringside Report Network.
Thanks for sticking with us to the end. We would really appreciate it if you could help us spread the word.
You know the drill. Hit that subscribe button, flip those notification switches.
We are an audience-supported network, so consider becoming a recurring supporter at membership.ringsidereport.net. Check out our website at ringsidereport.net. Hope to see you again next time, and have a good night.